magic Facebook live stream, and I'm an urban explorer and a filmmaker. I explore cities all around the world and learn all about its history and show it to people all around the world via my show, Urbanist, which is also on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook/Urbanist Live. And today I'm going to give you a taste of what I do on my own show. I'm going to show you Central Park. But what I love most about Central Park is that it's an absolutely beautiful, magical place. Especially since it is the main location of the Disney film Enchanted. And I wouldn't doubt it that Walt Disney himself was inspired by this park when he visited for the World's Fair in 1964 and went over to Queens and decided, maybe I should build a park just like this. Let's walk around Central Park. And let me know where you're watching from. So right now we are in Central Park and 72nd Street. This is the beautiful Dakota building, one of the very first apartment buildings in New York City. You can take the subway right over here. It's the BC train to the 72nd Street stop. We have, of course, iconic hot dog vendors selling pretzels, hot dogs, shish kebab, and everything in between. We have our pedicab drivers, and maybe we'll be able to catch, I am definitely going to show you a horse and carriage. So let's walk around. Hello Susan, hello Michelle. You want to travel with me? Amazing. I'm so happy I can virtually take you on this journey through New York City's Central Park. Hello Karen, Leslie, Julie from Denver. Leslie, you're watching all the way from Scotland. Amazing. Well, you're probably no stranger to these beautiful greenery that we're being surrounded by right now. Michelle, you were here a month ago. Oh, amazing. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Ian. Hello, everyone. Hello, Ava. Hello, Juanita from Hell's Kitchen. If you're tuning in, do me a favor. If you have any friends and family that really want to learn about New York City, really want to see Central Park, or just want a nice, beautiful, bucolic escape from their office, share this video with them right now. Share this video. Let's get as many people into this broadcast as possible. Now we're entering Strawberry Fields, which is a quiet zone, so I'm going to lower my voice just a little bit. Hello, Elise. If you recognize Central Park from any major films, let me know in the comments. Today, I'm going to show you a few locations of the film Enchanted. But if you know of any other films that you love in Central Park, what are they? What's your favorite Central Park film? So this is Strawberry Fields, the memorial to John Lennon, who lived right at the Dakota overlooking Central Park.
I love you, that's all I want to say. Until I find a way, I will say the only words I know that you'll understand. My Michelle, yeah, my belle, son aimant.
So we're completely surrounded by strawberry fields right now. It's 2.5 acres amongst the 843 total acres of Central Park. It's a beautiful tribute to one of the most famous singers in the world who found peace the final years of his life here in New York. He absolutely loved this place, and he loved strolling through Central Park. And look how beautifully quiet it is. Hello, Michelle. It's unreal how quiet it is in this part of the park. Random musicians, and that's about it. Yes, that's true. Hello, Dawn. You'll be here after Christmas. Hello, Juanita. You love Central Park. Elise, you'll be here on Tuesday. Amazing. So I hope you're taking on all the sounds, the birds singing, the insects making their noises, the leaves rustling in the wind. A little bit of history of Central Park. It started back in 1860s when New York City was growing very rapidly and becoming super densely packed, especially below 42nd Street. They needed green space, and green space very desperately, because all that was surrounding, all that they were crammed into were very crammed apartment buildings, and also the city was growing taller and taller and taller, more staircases, less ventilation, more disease being harbored in all these very cramped locations. People just wanted some space. And then they made a competition to see what park they can build in New York City. Luckily, Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux, two architects, decided to team up together to make this plan of a massive rectangular park right in the heart of Manhattan. If you don't know what Manhattan is, it's the main area, main borough of New York City. New York City is comprised of 5 different boroughs. Hello, Gordon, you love Central Park. Dawn, you'll be here after Christmas. Amazing. You were born and raised in Manhattan, so yes, I know Central Park. And I have pictures of me as a baby on the picnic blanket. Oh, amazing, Juanita. That's so beautiful. I'm so happy you know Central Park really well. Such a gorgeous place. Now, if you were to come here back in the 1860s when it was built, this was the talk of the town, because this felt like taking a trip into the Appalachian Mountains, surrounded by nature. And it wasn't your normal gardens that you saw in France, that you see in France that are very, and also London, that are very rectangular, very straightforward, very designed. Here, they play around with nature. Am I gonna walk around the castle? Yes, I might see the castle. Let's see if we can get there. So here we're starting to see the skyline pop up, and here is a horse and carriage, which you see in Central Park all around. Ooh, let me show you views of the pond over here. Now, yeah, if we were to come back here in the 1860s, we wouldn't see that many buildings crop up. It's now that the buildings are very visible, but before, there would be no buildings whatsoever. You would not know that you were in the city. However, there's still parts of Central Park, which we're going to see today, where you don't feel like you are in the city. Look at that beautiful gazebo. Those used to be one of the rowboat landings. You could still rowboat, which was featured in the film Enchanted, the Disney film Enchanted. However, you can no longer land on the landings. There's only one landing, which I'll show you soon. Rich, you were born in New York City. Oh, wonderful. Me too. New York City, hometown. Absolutely in love with the city. Lots of pedicabs. Hello everyone. Let me know where you're watching from and what's your favorite film that you've seen, has scenes in Central Park. Today I'm going to show you scenes from Enchanted, but there's also Home Alone, the film Balto, The Avengers. Oh, that's another Disney film. We're gonna check that out soon, where the final scene of the very first Avengers movies took place. Oh, wow. So here are the new tall, super slender skyscrapers of New York City popping up. These are now, hey, these are now among the tallest that are in the city. Hey. Julie, you love You Got Mail. Yes, another great film that takes place in Central Park. Hey Gordon, you're an AP holder, amazing. You're from South California. I'm a Disney too, love Mickey Mouse. Ooh, amazing, Juanita.
Like someone like
So Central Park is one of the most visited parks in the nation. Always packed with people any time of day, basically year round. It's a absolutely wonderful place to walk through. It's almost impossible to walk through it in one walk. Like, you can spend maybe up to 4 or 5 hours to walk the entire perimeter. It extends from 59th Street all the way to 110th Street. And just for perspective, each 12 blocks in New York City is the equivalent of 1 mile. So minor spoilers for The Avengers, the first one, not number 4, which recently came out, but the first one after a horrible battle that happened in New York City right by Grand Central Terminal. One of the villains, I won't say who, one of the villains was transported out of this dimension into another realm from here. Here's where Tony Stark, Thor, and a few of the other Avengers bid farewell after a mission accomplished of saving New York City and the world at large. And this is Bethesda Terrace. Dominic, hope we could see the Alice statue. Maybe. Oh wow, I just absolutely love this place in Central Park. So a lot of iconic scenes in films happen right here. As I mentioned, the Avengers, their final scene was exactly right in this spot. Tony Stark said bye to Thor and the villain of that film. I won't say who if you haven't seen the film yet. And right in front of us is Bethesda Terrace. If you've seen the film Disney's Enchanted, which is basically a real life a Disney princess brought into the real life New York City, the final scene takes place right here. This is also the inspiration for the intro sequence from Friends. It's not the same fountain, but it's inspired by it. Beth, you fell in love with Central Park last year when we visited last summer. Looking forward to seeing again your trip in 2020. Oh, Beth, so cool. I'm so happy that you're coming back to New York City. I hope you really enjoy your time here. Of course, people always leave their markings. Here we have something in Russian. We have a heart. It's barely legible at this point. We walked and walked in Central Park and never came across this. This park is so big. Yes, this park is massive. It's gigantic. Usually people start at the southern end, which is all the way down that way. So we're not gonna walk this way, but I just want to show you this view. This is the straightest path in all of Central Park. There's no other straight road in Central Park. Everything else has curves and bends. And this is what is called the Central Park Mall. Now, actually, let's go this way. So all this stonework was made originally when the park opened by Calvert Vaux, who was one of the 2 architects who made this beautiful park. And he added a few fairy tale characters to each of the stoneworks. So we're gonna see an owl, we're gonna see, I'll show you, it's really cool. It also ties into the film Enchanted. So we have an owl right over here. Owl is something you see all around New York City. There's a symbol used by a lot of stonemasons. Here we have a book and what looks like a lamp. But right over here, right at one of these cornerstones in Bethesda Terrace, is a little figure that almost no one sees because she's crammed over here. This is a witch. So here we have a classic Disney-esque witch, basically, just straight out of Maleficent, Wicked. Look at that. Boop. There we go. So each of these sections represents a different season, and of course, this is Halloween. Michelle, you started at the Museum of Natural History. Wow, I'm surprised you didn't get here because we're right next to the Museum of Natural History. Home Alone 2, you love that too, and also the Avengers and Enchanted. Yes, Enchanted is such a beautiful film. Of course, Enchanted also had another scene over here that we're doing a musical number that went down the mall, and then they went all the way through here into underneath Bethesda Terrace. Now brace yourselves, because this is, I think, one of the coolest parts of the entire park. So here we have Victorian tiling put on the ceiling. The only example you'll find here in New York City. Always find buskers here every single time. You'll always find buskers, someone playing a Spanish guitar. You'll find this a cappella band here. Sometimes I've bumped into full choirs. One time I saw a Russian choir over here, which was really cool. It was like a group of like 30 kids that all started singing some very old classical song. It was absolutely mind-blowing. If you're here in Central Park, beware, have your ears open, because you might bump into these amazing buskers. And here, ladies and gentlemen, and people of all genders, is the final musical number of the film Enchanted, right by the Bethesda Terrace. If you know the words to the song, put it in the comments right now. That's also where the last scene of Gossip Girl was filmed. Yes, Gossip Girl was filmed heavily in Central Park. I never saw that final scene, but that's good to know. Ooh, cool. Final scene was here. There's no better place to do than final scene than here in Bethesda Terrace. How do you know that her love you? Ooh, what were you referring to, Rich? And Beth, you made sure to see the Bethesda fountain, and Michelle, you went straight to the castle. Yes, the castle right now is still under construction, so it might not be so worth seeing. But here is Bethesda, who is the water bearer. Oh, you're singing the song from Enchanted. Amazing. Oh, look at those lilies. And here we're coming across the pond, the lake that's famous for its rowboats. There was also a scene where the princess and the prince take a rowboat here in Central Park. It's open to the public. Anyone can rent a rowboat. I think you could take your time. However, one of the really cool things about this lake and the many bodies of water in Central Park is that you'll find turtles. And they are not indigenous to New York City. They were put here many years ago. So there's Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello. And there we go. We got all the 4 Mutant Ninja Turtles. As you can see, that one has red gills. So is Raphael. So before I get to tell you about where the turtles come from, right across the water is the Loeb Boathouse. And that is the brunch scene where the main character from When Harry Met Sally, Sally, is having brunch with her friends. And they mention Harry, and she kind of is in denial that she is in love with him. That scene takes place exactly right there, which is still open for brunch to this day. So as I mentioned, the turtles don't come from New York City. They're not indigenous to this area at all. What happened is in the late 1800s, people got obsessed with having turtle pets. And they thought they were nice little cute turtles. Let's keep them in a nice little tank. And all the kids went crazy for it. And every single parent in New York City started buying their kids turtles. But they're this tiny when they're little. So why only buy one? Maybe buy 2, 3, 4 turtles so they can all be a nice little family in that little tank. However, turtles grow and they keep on growing and they grow more and more and more. The thing is, you'll need a bigger and bigger and bigger tank. So a lot of the parents and pet owners all around New York City panicked because they had no idea how to care for these turtles that were growing way too big for their cramped apartments in the Lower East Side or the Upper West Side or in Hell's Kitchen. So they decided to release them here into the wild, as they do in many films, releasing doves to fly free. They did that with the turtles. Just let them be free. The thing is, in Central Park, turtles have no natural predators. So they just keep on growing, and they have thrived, growing by the thousands in lakes like these in Central Park. And across this section over here, the Rambles, there's an entire pond called Turtle Pond. But now let's go to one of the most romantic, beautiful, picturesque bridges in all of Central Park. Rich, you say, I don't know if you saw a couple years ago back, Disney did some pirate event right where those boats were. And they were on those boats. Oh, that's amazing. I did not know that. I did not see that in person. That's really cool that Disney made an event. Was it to tie in the film Pirates of the Caribbean? Let me show you more of the views from here. Hello, Ashley. Welcome. Nice to see you here. Ashley, do I have a favorite Jim Carrey movie? That is a random question, but straight off my head, I would say The Mask. But I'm asking everyone, what's your favorite Central Park movie? Let us know. Lori, you say thank you for this. I've never been and always wanted to go. I'm so glad I can take you on this virtual journey through Central Park. Now, one of the really cool parts about, well, there's a lot of cool parts about Central Park, so I'll be saying that a whole lot. But one of the cool parts of Central Park is that they built 45 unique bridges. Each of the bridges are made with a different material in a different style, from wooden bridges to Viking looking bridges to stone bridges to this cast iron bridge. This has been the first ever, this was the first ever cast iron bridge built in America. This is Beau Bridge, and probably one of the most photographed as well. Countless engagement and wedding photos are taken right here. Ron, your favorite Jim Carrey movie is Liar Liar. Wonderful. Ashley, The Haunted Mansion. Dina, definitely your favorite film is Enchanted for Central Park Films. Oh, look at that. So is Shakespeare in the Park still here? Yes, it is. It still runs every single summer. They still have a lottery, both online and in person, for cheap tickets. I think they might be free or cheap tickets, and also you can buy regular tickets online, but they go out fast. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to ask anything about Manhattan, about Central Park. Michelle, yes, Elf also had many scenes in Central Park and Made in Manhattan. Yeah, great film with Jennifer Lopez. It is beautiful and magical. Let's zoom in. So here we have a little island of ducks. Another iconic site in New York City. Here we have two women who are about to crash land. It can be tough rowing a boat. And here, if you are younger, under a certain age, you do have to wear a life vest. And that's why you see this young girl with a life vest. Lori, I want to take my daughter 1 year. She is at that perfect age. Yeah, definitely. You should definitely take your daughter here. I think she'll definitely enjoy Central Park. So now we are entering the Rambles. Now, if you wanted to see Central Park and you thought to yourself, oh, you know, this is a pretty, I can still see the city. I can still feel like I'm in the city. And you totally want to feel separate from the city, you want to feel like you've been transported to the Appalachian Mountains, then you have to come right here into the Rambles, which is the densest area of all Central Park. And it feels literally like walking in these beautiful mountain ranges. Ron, you met one of your Central Park associations. Most of my Central Park associations have to do with the Law and Order franchise. Yeah, Law and Order films a whole lot in this park. And if they don't, they are filming in Prospect Park and saying that it's Central Park. So Central Park is filled with these like tiny little pathways. And right here, if you're a fan of the film Ghostbusters, this is where Ghostbusters takes place. The final battle scene with the demon that was threatening the city. storm clouds are gathering. It's about to start raining. Should have brought my umbrella. So you just saw two squirrels chasing each other away. Here, let's go along the water. Now, if you row your boat underneath right there, you always see all these little inscriptions, some of them dating 30 years back. It's a really cool like blast from the past, because it's a hard place to get to. You would need your rowboat. And Michelle, you're pretty sure you need a Disney guide when you're visiting New York City. Oh yeah, there's a lot of Disney related places you can visit here. Now, Central Park might look beautiful with lots of beautiful terrain. You might think to yourself, wow, Manhattan was so gorgeous before the Europeans settled here. Well, this area, not so much. Before there was a Central Park, this area was filled with a bunch of rocks. It was very swampy, very unfriendly to anyone really coming here, and no one was really settling here. So when Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux, the co-architects of this park, decided to transform this park and add elevation, they took landfill from other parts of the city, especially from the subways that were being built. Well, not the subways being built, but other parts of the city, and they added it onto here in Central Park in order to make these beautiful elevations. Check this out right over here. Oh wow. So this is the cool thing about wandering in Central Park. You can really come across these gorgeous views. Alright, it's about to rain soon. If you have any questions about Central Park, feel free to ask. Let me know. I'm going to try a speed walk and give you a speed walking tour back to Bethesda before it rains. I did not come ready with an umbrella, so wish me luck. Central Park, such a beautiful park. There's so many things to do. If you want to check out Bethesda Terrace, take the subway to the the CB train all the way to 72nd Street, and it's a short walk away from here. Also, if you want to see many of the Disney locations, you have to come right here to this location as well. When Lynette, you says you're saying when Disney released the movie Hercules, they did a magnificent Main Street USA like parade with floats. All the Hercules characters traveled up Fifth Avenue to form an old Disney store on Fifth Avenue all the way up in Central Park. Yeah, also along Fifth Avenue, along Central Park West, you'll see the Thanksgiving Day parade, and they frequently have these huge Disney character floats going above the parade. It's a wonderful, wonderful sight. And Michelle, you say thank you so much for sharing with us today. Yeah, you're so welcome. I'm so happy you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for tuning in. Karen, you're so welcome. Okay, right over here, for our final little secret of Central Park, you see these lampposts. Now, if you were visiting Central Park, even 40 years ago, there would be no GPS, there would be no Google Maps, there would be, how would you find your way around? If you go further back, 100 years ago, when Central Park was open for about 20 years, there wouldn't be any buildings to see yourself as landmarks to find your way around. Maybe only the Dakota, basically nothing else. So how do you find your way around? Well, that you use the very first form of GPS, which were these lamps. These beautiful cast iron lamps, which are still original. Here in the bottom is a little code to find your way. So this 4-digit code says 7303. Let me click over here. 7303. The first 2 digits are the street you are aligned with. So right now we are 73rd Street. The last 2 digits, specifically the last one, the lower numbers means you're more west. The higher numbers means you're more east. So if you're 5 or below, that means you're closer west. If we were 00, then we'd be all the way at 5th Avenue. If we were at 09 or 19, we would be all the way on the east side. That's how you find your way around Central Park. Sherry, you want your next visit, you definitely want to come to Central Park. Your next visit, definitely do. There's a few other great parts to see in Central Park. All the way at the southwestern end, which is the area where most people come in through, there's these huge, massive boulders that make for great photographs on top of them, especially because you can see the skyline all around you. A little bit further down, there in the Rambles, you can see the castle. The castle's still under repair. You can still see a little bit of it, but come a few months from now, and you'll be able to see the Bethesda Castle, which looks like a castle straight out of a Disney film as well. And if you want to see the Alice in Wonderland statue, ancient obelisk from Egypt, or the Hans Christian Andersen statue, which was the writer of many fairy tales, including Ariel, the Little Mermaid, same name as me. but I'm not named after the Little Mermaid. You could go all the way to the east side of Manhattan around 70th Street. Well, let's go over here, see what's happening. Leslie from Scotland, you turned off your phone so you can watch me on the big TV. Oh, so awesome. I'm so glad you can watch me on your big TV. So let's see what is happening right in the Bethesda arcade. If you want to see more of my work, I explore cities all around the world and its history. As you learn some history here, I go even further in depth into history in my own show, Urbanist. You can search Urbanist Live on Facebook. It's the symbol with the orange U. That's me. Follow me. I do live videos many times a week. Soon I'll be exploring Paris. Right now, let me show you a little bit more of Bethesda Arcade. Let's see what is happening right under here. Yes, you can.
Hey, okay guys, welcome to our crib. This is a bunch of singers.
Oh, that's amazing. Where are you from?
Texas.
Texas, amazing. All right, there we go. Excuse me. So Carrie, you said it was